So astrology, one of the most advanced personality reading systems. There's a lot of aspects to cover here, so I think today we're just going to talk about the planets. There's these big massive spheres of matter moving around us, and all of them have their own unique frequency, and they influence us coming closer and farther from us in orbit at all times. So let's talk about the sun first. The sun is the star, the center of our solar system. Unlike the center of our solar system, our ego, our personality, what it represents, the center of attention. In pop culture, this is widely known as what's your astrology sign. If you're born in July, you'd be a Cancer or a Leo, for example, and that's what you're widely known as. But there's so much more other aspects to a reading that defines who you are. For example, the moon, it orbits around Earth, controlling Earth's waters and pull, its magnetic pull. Water representing emotion. We're made up mostly of water. Think of this as the makeup of our emotional landscape, our emotional temperament. How do we react when we're stressed? The next planet is Mercury. If you look at the horizon at dawn, you'll see Mercury there like a tiny little speck. Biblically, it has some resonance here as well. A little correlation representing the morning star, Satan, the trickster of the mind, because it's the planet that represents communication and the way we think, that dictates our internal narrative, that voice in your mind that never shuts up. But I think it's important to understand Mercury, especially because if we understand the personality of the voice in our mind, we understand how we could work with ourselves in a better way. Most people, it's all just yap, 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 and it never really wants to shut up. Which could be kind of hard to work with. The next planet we have is Venus, which is the planet of love, beauty, how or what we love, and it's how we show up in relationships. Next is the red planet Mars, which is, think Aries, pioneering leader that wants to start something. It's all about masculine assertiveness. But when you think of assertiveness, think of focus or unfocus. How are you directing your energy? The next planet is the big gas giant Jupiter, ruled by Sagittarius. So I think expansive, abundance, joy, fun, the fun factor, where you'll find fulfillment in life. Next, we have Saturn. Saturn is the grandfather planet. He loves you dearly, but he is very disciplined. He wants to see you succeed. When you see Saturn, think of purpose through life lessons. The next three planets are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, which are on the outer ring of our solar system. And that means they take a long time to orbit the sun, which means that we've only been able to study it in depth in recent times. But I think perspective is very important here, because let's start with Uranus, the planet of eccentricity and genius. Eccentricity as in you're unique, you're different. How are you unique or different? So when you see it, think of it as a sudden burst of insight that gives you new grounds in new levels of authenticity within yourself or for others. There's a humanitarian aspect that you want to help others and cause change, revolution, see better. The next planet is Neptune, which is the dreamer or the planet of illusions, and this is connected to your subconscious, your inner world, ruled by Pisces, is very mystic. So it says, are you connected to your inner world, or are you busy using dreams and illusions as a form of escapism? And last but not least, we have the planet Pluto, ruled by Scorpio, which is the planet of change and death and rebirth. So the perspective to take, will you be brave enough to face the hard challenges of your shadows and let it crumble and rise above the ashes born anew? Or will you hold on to the illusion of control and grip onto it, and when it eventually crumbles, you're left in shambles? So I do aligned purpose readings where I mix soul contract readings and astrology readings. Soul contract readings define the frequencies of your life and the challenges that you have to overcome, but astrology readings as well that defines your personality and how you can work with yourself in the best way moving forward. We often forget, and the best way to remember is having a clear map that with specific instructions on how you could work with yourself in the best way possible. If any of this calls out to you, feel free to book a reading directly on my website. I'll never reach out to you first, and my link is in my bio. I love you. Have a good night.